All right, we should be live now. We should be live. Can you guys hear me? Everything good? So this morning we do have big gap higher, and essentially what I want to see is whether or not anytime we have a gap of this magnitude, we want to see, can buyers defend the gap? Can the gap hold? So that's going to be the main watch off of the open here. As always, big gap means gap rules apply. I want to be seeing how that opening how that opening 5-minute bar develops here. And there's the open. So we're looking at the 500 level of interest and then this opening 5-minute bar. That's going to be the focus here. Did have some technical difficulties there on my end, but it looks like we're back. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Are we good with the sound? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good deal. All right, thanks, Dave. Thanks. Yeah, I had an issue with the streaming software there. Trading view issues. Okay, that's good to know. So NQ down and through that 500 level of interest. No real plans to be trading the immediate open here. Now, if sellers do start to step in off the open, what we can keep an eye on is some retracements of the overnight move. So you can see my fib here on the 15-minute. I've got it drawn from the overnight low, which is last night's session, up into the overnight high this morning. You've got that first shallow fib, that 23% fib right here in the 465 area with a little bit of pre-market structure there. So that'll be that first kind of reference point. There it is, being tested right now. Session volume point of control just shifted down into that area as well, 466. Let me go ahead and thanks for that that post in the think take there, Dave. Let me fix that link in the notes as well. So we got that opening 5-minute bar closing here in about 1 minute. Let's take a look at ES. ES, you can take that same type of approach, looking at your fib retracement from that overnight low up into the overnight high, now into that shallow fib, right? So if this opening 5-minute bar closes bearish, most likely unless we see some really strong intraday market structure, most likely that is a scenario where I'll be waiting until 10 a.m. before placing any trades. Do not want to be really fighting that directional move ahead of 10 a.m. with a big gap higher. You're holding your breath, Mish. Yeah, sorry about that. I had some issue with the streaming software. But we should be good now. I think we're good. So there's NQ into VWAP. I would not be interested in VWAP given the current context personally. Doesn't mean it can't work, but again, given the context, better to just be waiting as of right now. And again, remember, big gap higher, opening 5-minute bar is bearish, right? That's a straight sell. So staying patient for now. I would not mind just kind of looking ahead here. We're getting into the 2400 level of interest. That's kind of your 50% retracement area right through there for this overnight move as well. So I'll be watching the action right through there. That'd be the first kind of real area I'd be interested. But if this sell continues, we may be looking at a retest into that prior day high. So let's see how this continues to develop and where buyers actually want to step in, if at all. If at all. As expected and mentioned, earlier this week, today would be a day where we have more volatility, and we're already seeing that. If you had a tough first half of the week, tough first portion of the week, remember, conditions and environment play a big role in the opportunities that we're going to see. Economic calendar has a big impact on whether or not we're going to see real moves in the index. You could trade the breakout. You just got to be willing to stay up all night. You got to be willing to trade that overnight session. But you can definitely trade it. Doesn't matter. Do you want to stay up all night? Or you could put a swing on. A couple ways to go about it. Wait for that 6 p.m. open. Find an entry. Enter your trailing stop. I wouldn't do it with options. Futures. Just trade the futures. So NQ, bit of a bounce here into that session volume point of control now, retesting that pre-market structure point. Did not quite get into that 400 area. Let's see how that intraday structure starts to develop now. Is this a lower high and sellers puke the low? Or do we see something different? 5 minute, the next 5 minute bar closing up in 30 seconds here shows a doji, maybe even a hammer. How's a yes doing? Same type of structure, ES back into that session low. And NQ about to make a new low as well. First decent short entry there, the rejection of that session volume point of control and that pre-market structure point. Probably want to be trimming if you grab that lower high. Aligns with the gap rules currently. If you're a long only like myself, you're just waiting. NQ with a new low of day there. Do we have 10 a.m. data? No 10 a.m. Oh yeah, we do have 10 a.m. data. Data. Looks like Powell's speech is behind us now as well. A lot of Fed speak today too. First 15-minute bar of the sesh closes up here in about 90 seconds. Big sell bar. Big sell. So we're staying patient. Let's see. I haven't seen an issue personally. Yeah, my drawing's working. You guys having an issue with TradingView? Here's our first 15-minute bar. The sesh closed up. And price is into that 38% fib retracement of the overnight move. We're looking at that overnight move. Oh, it's across layouts. Gotcha. Video's more clear today. All the settings aren't the same. So, happy to hear that. But I didn't change anything on my end. Keep an eye on how that NQ 5-minute develops here. Another 5-minute hammer that closes green would definitely be encouraging. See if sellers can make that new low here. NQ back into the lows. You have a series of lower highs there. NQ with a new low of day. So next area to be watching here is this 400 level of interest, and you have the 50% fib for that overnight move right through there as well. We're still in that opening 30 minutes. Still in that directional move lower, so no rush. Gap rules means you're either short or looking for shorts or waiting if you're wanting the long. So far for shorts, you have the opening drive, very aggressive trade, and then the lower high versus session volume point of control. Show fib on 5 and 2 minute. You just right click the drawing and go no sync, sync in layout, or sync globally. NQ 5 minute. Not a green bar yet. No green bars. Gap rules, baby. Gotta love those gap rules. Still cash. Still cash. Data in about 8 minutes. Anyone trading yet? Anyone grab those shorts? Cashed up, same. Patience, no shorts, nope, cash. Good patience. Good patience. Cash. Good. That's good. That's good. Hope no one got trapped in that VWAP play. Cash. Nice. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. So NQ intraday could trigger a little change of character with a push up through this 450 area. That holds, right? Need it to hold. Right now we have, you can make a case that is a lower high, but this is more so lower high, maybe a lower high. Let's see. TBD. Volume's really good. Not a concern so far this morning. So we do have data and 10 a.m. here in about 4 minutes. Not a major data print, but data nonetheless. And 10 a.m. NQ just sitting on the low. Let's see S&P. Same. ES making a new low. Best area for ES is way down back into 5,800. Still not a single green 5-minute bar on NQ. See if 10 a.m. changes that. They may get that first 5-minute green close here. Still have 90 seconds. Again, keep an eye on this. NQ retesting the underside of VWAP there. VWAPy. And what time is it? 1 minute till 10. Let's see. Let's see this 10 a.m. NQ as far as location. Still here at that 38% fib retracement for the overnight move, and then you have the 400 level of interest just below, just beneath. If that area fails with the 50% fib there around 385, we're down in back into that prior day high. That's that next major area. So here's 10 a.m. Not even a real uptick in volume here that I'm seeing yet. kind of retesting that underside of VWAP again. No change in character. It's back near the lows. Well, that was uneventful. ES catching a bid. Okay. It's interesting. 5 minute definitely looks better here. If price can hold. QQQ noteworthy. Daily gap on QQQ. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh, there it is. I think I lost my drawings there. Rip. Darn. Yep. So not much to work with here so far as NQ is concerned. Still just looking at this intraday structure. Let's try a reload on this. See if that fixes it. Nope, drawing's still gone. Darn. Well, so far it was pretty uneventful open for me anyway. Still cash. Still cashed up. So execution screen, nothing there. So right now, just looking at this intraday structure here. See how price resolves. Be nice if I had all my drawings here, but like we discussed earlier, some issues at TradingView. There was NQ into that 50% fib area for the overnight move. That's right around 385. So that was a new low of day being made on NQ. And it's just right back into that intraday structure there. Buyers looking to defend this 400 area. There's that fib. Intraday structure remains downtrend. No change just yet. ES also making a fresh low on the sesh. Next big level on ES, like we talked about, is at 5,800. %61 fib there at 5,800 for the overnight move. I take it. The overnighter. Gotcha. Volume has actually tapered down quite a bit again. Seems to be the theme this week. Seems to be the theme. So buyers still somewhat interested in that 2,400 area there on NQ. This area stays on watch. Ideally would like some help from the 5-minute, the 15-minute. Is Pal still talking? I'm not sure, honestly. I thought he was scheduled at 9:20, which would have been almost an hour ago now. Check the news feeds. If he is, you'll see the news feed spamming about it. So NQ just back into that kind of pre 10 a.m. structure there. You can see that intraday change of character up through 435. Price breaks that structure point as well as VWAP right through there. Until then, this continues to be that intraday downtrend. Minute closes here in 2 minutes as well. A little push back up above 420 in the next 2 minutes would really help that 15-minute bar. Let's see. Let us see. And Q coming back into that 400 area. ES also with pretty low volume. And back near the lows for NASDAQ. There's your next 15-minute close. Did not close up above that 420, which definitely would have helped out. Price still here at that 2,400 level of interest and the 50% retracement. Not much to work with so far. Flexing that patience muscle. This is the week of patience. Wow. And Q back near the lows. Right at 380. That's that 50% fib as well. Now we're almost 1 hour into the sesh. Not a lot to do here, folks. Not a lot to do here. How's that profile looking? So quite a ways before session volume point of control shifts to current area. And Q back into the lows there. ES pretty much the same. 5 minutes kind of settling into some barcode here as we get almost 1 hour into the sesh. See if sellers can flush the low right now. NQ just sitting on the lows. Got some NVIDIA Ray, nice. So far, this has all the makings of a no trade day. We'll give it a little more time. Give it a little bit more time, but current action, low volume, location. There we go. There's that new low of day. Let's see if this can show any follow through. Next reference point would be that 61% fib, the overnight move at 350. If sellers can show any follow through here. Then really, what's that prior day high, which is way lower down into 270. And that's right near that where that weekly pivot is at. $350, almost into that 61% fib. Again, looking at that overnight move there. From that overnight low into overnight high. A little uptick in volume there. And ES is almost into that 5,800. Keep an eye on that 5,800. Maybe more worthwhile to keep an eye on ES. Just based on trade location. 5,800 is a solid spot. Still about 6 points away. ES. NQ still needs 420 area for that intraday change of character. Since the open, 15-minute has shown all bearish bars. So gap rules keeps you out any longs until 10 a.m. and then post 10 a.m. hasn't been a real setup. So we just sit and wait. Sit and wait for probably another half hour at most. Then just call it a day. No trade day. NTD. Although I will look at ES 5800 reaction if it gets there. Keep an eye on that. That's kind of the tentative game plan right now. See that 5800 here on ES. Yeah, Thursday. My arch nemesis, the leaf blower, is right around the corner. So NQ kind of pushing into no man's land for me. We do have ES, like I said, with decent proximity to a bigger level. So I'll keep an eye on that if it actually gets down there into 5800 here in the next half hour. There you go, NQ opening up a bit more here with the selling. Most interested in ES 5800. Main focus right now. Nicely done, Strong. NQ not too far off that prior day high now. 270 area, so another 40 points or so. See, where's ES at? ES is kind of holding this 5805. See whoever gets into that prior day high first. Gotta love those gap rules, man. Gotta love it. Something so simple. So NQ has retraced about, what is that, 76%? That overnight move, 78%. Just about. And you've got the prior day high there into 270 area. Volume is definitely improved. So this is worth keeping an eye on. Definitely worth it. Like to see, this is where it gets kind of tricky because price is pretty close. So I like to see a real test of the area I'm looking for if I'm going to get involved with the lower time frames. Otherwise, need some sort of, at the very least, a 5-minute reversal or some sort of 15-minute reversal before getting involved. If you're kind of wondering about proximity to the zone, that's how I do it. 15 minutes, still has 8 minutes before it closes, but could potentially be a hammer. Keep an eye on that. A little more than an hour into the sesh here. Still totally cash. Have not placed a trade yet. So this 15-minute bar closes here in 5 minutes. I want to keep an eye on that. If it closes as a hammer, we then want to see if it can show any follow through. Right. Then what you can start to do is take your intraday fib, like it from the actual open here. There we go. Looks like ES back in a VWAP there. It's also the session volume point of control. And Q coming back for the low here. See if we get a real test of the prior day high. Prior day high down into 270 for NQ. ES. That was a pretty nice short opportunity. You want to be locking some profits here if you grab that. Nice. Yeah, that was a good opportunity. A little blip above the prior lower high. Session volume point of control, VWAP. That's clean. Clean setup. $15-minute closes here in 90 seconds. Let's see. And no hammer. No hammer on that 15 minutes. That's why we don't do candle analysis before the candle is closed. We got about another 15 minutes or so before I start winding it down for the morning. Like to see a test a prior day high within the next 15 minutes, ideally. See if we could get a reaction down into that prior day high. And Q, if it can break this 365 area, may start to see more buying interest. Right through here. Where's that? 365 and a half, 366. Just looking at the structure. That would also be, is that the prior 15-minute bar high? Yes. Okay, so there's definitely for the intraday, there's going to be a significant area here in the next 15-30 minutes. See what ES is doing. Held the low. And rolling over a bit again. There we go. Give us that test of prior day high. Let's see prior day high. See a flush of the low right there. New low of day. NQ. Another good example right there in real time why you want to be waiting for higher time frames before you try and fade a move like this. Unless you're just going to try and scalp this thing. But that's not my play. That is not my play personally. So coming into that prior day high, 270 area is on watch. And that 255, that's the weekly pivot, remember. I would consider this zone 270 down into the 255 like a must hold point for bulls, for buyers. So let's see the reaction here. If that area does fail on the higher time frames, it's not a good look for the higher time frame structure, right? Took more of that ES short off. Nicely done. Nicely done. We're about 10 minutes until 11. It's been nothing but red 15-minute bars here for NQ since the open. Nothing but red. Nothing but sellers. Got almost a full retracement of that overnight move. This is why we have gap rules right here. That's why we have them. Take a look at that. Big bearish 5-minute bar opening up. Gives you another 166 points. NQ, let's see that prior day high. 270. Kissing the lows there, retesting the lows. New low of day. Nicely done, Dave. Killer trade. Wow. There's your prior day high. Now, like I said, if the prior day high fails, you're looking at 255, and we're getting into some larger time frame structure points here. Daily and weekly time frame. So no real bid there at the prior day high. as of yet anyway. $11 a.m. here in about 6 minutes. No interest at prior day high from buyers. Now into the weekly pivot. $255 area. And where's the gap fill? The gap fills down into $238. You're going to see a full gap fill potentially if $255 fails right here. ES, again, no real interest from buyers in this zone. So don't go blindly grabbing any longs. Don't do that. ES, the gap fill is much lower. It's down into 57.84 if your 5800 fails. And NQ coming into that gap fill spot, prior day close, and that pre-market low. There's the pre-market low. What a move. Wow. What a move. How you guys doing? How's the morning? About 90 minutes into the sesh here. Yeah, there's just no bid. No bid whatsoever. Almost into that prior day volume point of control. Don't be a hero. Don't be a hero. Don't let FOMO make you chase either. So I'll be looking at the reaction here for the next 5 minutes or so, next 5-6 minutes, see if we get some type of setup near that that weekly pivot, 255 prior day high area. And if not, that'll be a wrap on my morning. This has been a no trade day. So a lot of good short setups, but my focus is longs. Has been for the entirety of the year. So, no trade. Pretty simple. And Q just kind of churning here near that pre-market low. And Q back into the session low. And we're back into the weekly volume point of control there. That's the blue line here on the 15-minute. So back within the prior structure. This is going to need some time before, at least for me, a real setup materializes. At this point, I need the 15 or 30-minute to show some buying interest. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a morning here. Let's see. There's the morning for me. No trades. So again, a number of good short opportunities, but did not see what I was personally looking for. So we don't put on any risk. That is the name of the game. Hope you guys had a good morning. If you have questions about anything, feel free to reach out in the Traders Think Tank. And as always, thanks for jumping in.